Pace.
Good evening. I do want to deviate from the screen, from the script, just briefly. And I'd like to state that on behalf of the Regional Board of Leading Council and also our Township Council, we are devastated to learn the passing of our dear friend and colleague, Councillor Gary Williams. I can do this. Carrie Williams was an incredibly bright light, both in the community and in council chambers. She will be exceptionally missed by her colleagues, regional auditor staff, and the community. We collectively send our thoughts to her family at this time as they grieve this unimaginable loss and celebrate her life. We ask that their privacy be respected. All flags at regional building will be lowered in her memory. Regional Council will determine next steps in the coming weeks, and the details will be communicated then. And my council has also decided that we will lower the flags, and I thank them. So, good evening and welcome to the April 29th Council Planning Meeting. My members of the public may watch and or participate in this open meeting using any of the following methods. Attend in person in the Dumfries room at the North Dumfries Community Complex, located at 2958 Greenfield Road. Attend electronically to observe the meeting, to speak to an item on the agenda by registering with the Clerk Division. Watch the live stream by accessing the meeting on the Township YouTube page. The live stream is for viewing only and not for direct participation. You can submit written comments to the clerk's office in advance of the meeting. The correspondence are provided to the mayor and council prior to the meeting and will form part of the public record. Before I begin, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge and thank everyone for joining us this evening. We appreciate your participation. As we come together to serve the community, I ask that we create a welcoming and positive environment for everyone that includes respect, that we listen to each other with care, speak thoughtfully, and engage kindly with one another. And I'm going to pause here again and say, when I asked if I was upset about not getting strong mayor's powers, I said no. The debate around my council chamber is something amazing. And without those voices, the full knowledge would not be brought forth. And so I do appreciate each and every one of you for doing that. Kindness, that we treat everyone, council, staff, and the public with respect and understanding. Inclusion, that we embrace diverse perspectives and respect each other's opinions. Together, we can make this meeting space one where respect, kindness, and inclusion are a part of the heart of everything we do. Behavior that is disrespectful, disruptive, aggressive, or intimidating will result in those individuals being asked to leave the meeting. I'd now like to call the meeting to order and have approval of the agenda. Please, Councillor Austin.
Moved by myself, second by Councillor Tilly, that council will adopt the April 29th, 2025 council planning public meeting agenda as presented.
All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. I'd now like to do the Indigenous acknowledgement. We acknowledge that the land on which we gather today is the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee, the Anishinaabe, and the Neutral people. We acknowledge the enduring presence of the Indigenous people with whom we share this land, their acts and their contributions to our country. We offer this acknowledgement as an act of reconciliation and Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples of Canada. But again, these are only words. Our actions speak louder than words. And when we, as the statement at the beginning said, respect, inclusion, they're so essential in our society to make good decisions and to live in a positive and moving forward society. But when we respect one another, we start to work together and we make everything better. So let's contemplate that, please, as we reflect. Thank you. Is there any disclosure of peculiar interest in general nature thereof? Councillor Williams.
Item 6.6.1.
Thank you. Councillor Williams, also can you do the motion for the previous minutes? We've got to do going into the period of adjustment first. Councillor Bowman. My apologies. Councillor Tilly did that? Councillor Tilly. I'm really on tonight. Geez, I hope the Leafs do better. Here we are, Councillor Tilly.
Moved by myself, second by Councillor Osner, the meeting adjourned at
No.
6:04 p.m. to sit as committee adjustment for the purpose of holding public meetings pursuant to the provisions of the Planning Act.
All those in favor? Carried, thank you. And now we have Council Rowland, please. Committee adjustment.
Moved by myself, second by Council Wilms, that committee adopt the April 29th, 2025 committee adjustment agenda as presented.
All those in favor? Carried, thank you. Council Williams, now we use minutes, please.
Moved by myself, second by Rod Wilman, that the committee adjustment approved the meeting minutes dated March 25, 2025.
All those in favor? Carried, thank you. Does anybody have a disclosure of pecuniary interest under the adjustment? Council Williams, please.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I have a disclosure for 606.
Thank you. Next, we have 6.5, which is 6.5.1. Hearing public meeting minor variance consent application report number PD 23/2025. Minor variance application for the Gurley Farms Lane, file number A-04/25. Notice has been given in accordance with the plan. The Secretary Treasurer will keep a record of all persons who provided comments on this application and those who registered with the Police Department to request a notice of decision. Those individuals will be notified of the decision or the convening of future meetings on this application. There is a sign-in sheet on the table at the back of the meeting room to complete for those that wish future notices regarding this file. Christina Blasno, Planner 1 GIS Technician, will present this application. Christina, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The following presentation is for minor variance application E04/25 for the property located at 1 Gourlay Farm Lane. The purpose of this meeting is to provide an overview of the proposal, to solicit comments, and identify issues or matters to be assessed by staff. The property is located on the southeast corner of the intersection of Gourlay Farm Lane and Henry Miracle Street. The property consists of a single detached dwelling with approximately 447 square meters in size, with a lot frontage of 30 meters onto Henry Miracle Street and 14 meters onto Gourlay Farm Lane. Surrounding land uses are urban residential. This property zones at 4D urban residential with the site-specific zoning section 20.1.312 and is designated urban residential and Surrey in the Township of Plan. The owner proposes to facilitate the construction of a deck and a pergola structure. The proposed deck and pergola structure will be attached to the rear of the existing dwelling as shown in the image on the screen. Under the general zoning bylaw, the pergola is considered part of the main building due to its physical connection to the house. The deck, however, is regulated separately and is subject to different setback requirements. The proposed deck and pergola will share the same footprint, measuring 4.51 meters by 8.13 meters in size, with a total area of approximately 36.7 square meters. The owner is requesting the following the following variances from section 20.1.312I, which establishes that a rear yard setback should be 7.5 meters. The owner is requesting to permit a rear yard setback of 3 meters for the proposed pergola structure. And again, from the same section 20.1.312II establishes a rear yard setback for decks of 3.75 meters. And the owner seeks relief from this to permit a rear yard setback of 3 meters for the proposed deck. The photo on the left is the concept plan indicating the proposed reduced setbacks. The photo on the right is a view of the rear yard of the property, and the approximate location of the deck is highlighted in yellow. No correspondence has been received from any members of the public. There have been no concerns received from any agencies, and planning staff are still awaiting some comments from some departments and agencies. Staff recommends that all comments and correspondence received from members of the public and government agencies through the consultation process be returned to staff for a future report to the committee on the disposition of this matter. Staff will be considering matters including all comments and correspondence received and whether the development meets the criteria of the 4 tests. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. Is there a member of the public wish to come and speak on this matter? Seeing none, does any members of council? Yeah. The applicant want to speak? Yeah, okay, would you like to
Yeah,
speak?
okay, but I don't have anything to add.
Okay, thank you. All right, then, can I have a motion, please, Councillor Austin?
Moved by myself, second by Scott Tilley, that report number PD 23/2025 be received and that all comments and correspondence received through the consultation process be returned to staff for consideration of future report to the committee on the disposition of this matter.
All those in favor? Carried, thank you. Next is 6.5.2, report number 80. Report number PB 25/2025, consent application lot condition for 395 and 3435 Raven Drive, file number B0125 and B0225. Notice has been given in accordance with the planning act. The secretary treasurer will keep a record of all persons who provide comments on this application and those who register with the clerk's department to request a notice of decision. Those individuals will be notified of the decision or the convening of future meetings on this application. There's a sign-in sheet at the back at the table there of the meeting room to complete for those who wish future notice related to this file. Brock Linkletter, senior planner, will present this application. Brock, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The following presentation is for consent applications BO125 and BO225 associated with properties located at 395 Wadham and 435 Wadham Drive. The purpose of this presentation is to provide an overview of the proposal, to solicit comments and identify issues or matters to be addressed by staff. The two subject properties, known municipally as 395 Wadham Drive and 435 Wadham Drive, are situated adjacent to one another on the south side of Wadham Drive. This area is located immediately north of Highway 401, south of Roseville Road and east of Industrial Road. 395 Wadham Drive has an approximate lot area of 1.56 hectares and a lot frontage of 91.44 meters or 300 feet on Wadham Drive. 435 Wadham Drive, located immediately west of 395 Wadham, has an approximate lot area of 0.52 hectares and a lot frontage of 30.48 meters or 100 feet onto Wadham Drive. The property is designated as Highway 401 Regional Road 97 employment area under map 2 of the official plan, as well as dry industrial commercial under map 2.27 of the official plan. The two lots are both zone Z11 industrial in the zoning bylaw. The applicant GSP Group has submitted two consent applications. The purpose of these applications are to facilitate a lot addition between 395 and 435 Wadham Drive. No new lots would be created through these consent applications. 395 Wadham Drive is currently developed with an industrial building and associated parking. However, its septic bed is located within the lot boundary of 435 Wadham Drive. 435 Wadham is currently a vacant industrial parcel aside from the existing septic bed situated at the rear of the lot. To address this servicing arrangement and correct the lot boundaries, the owner has submitted consent applications to realign the property lines between the two lots. The applications also propose to offset the land being conveyed from 435 Wadham by adding a larger portion of land from 395 Wadham, ensuring that 435 Wadham Drive retains sufficient area to accommodate future industrial development. Application BO125 proposes to convey approximately 1,445 square meters from 395 Wadham Drive, shown as property 1 on the left of the attached consent sketch on this slide, conveyed to 435 Wadham as a lot addition. The land to be conveyed to 435 Wadham Drive is identified as Part A on the consent sketch shown on this slide. Application BO225 proposes to convey approximately 1,671 square meters from 435 Wadham Drive to 395 Wadham Drive as a lot addition. The land to be conveyed to 395 Wadham is identified as Part B on the consent sketch. On this slide, you can see two photos taken of each of the respective lots associated with the proposed lot addition. The photo on the left of the slide provides a street view image of 435 Wadham Drive, which is the vacant parcel of land immediately to the east of 395 Wadham. The photo on the right of the slide provides a street view image of 395 Wadham as it is currently developed today, containing an existing industrial building. There's been no public correspondence received from any members of the public with respect to the proposed consent applications as of the time of this meeting. Any and all public correspondence received following this meeting will be reviewed by staff and will be identified, assessed, and incorporated into a future recommendation report to the Committee of Adjustment. Looking at agency correspondence, the Grand River Conservation Authority and Region of Waterloo have noted they have no objections to the applications. The Ministry of Transportation has no specific comments on the proposal. However, notwithstanding this, the MTO did note that in accordance with the Public Transportation and Highway Improvement Act, the owner should be aware that the subject property falls within an MTO permit control area, and MTO issued permits will be required prior to any alteration occurring on the site. The Township's Engineering and Public Works Department has no objections to the approval of the consent applications as well. However, they did advise that an entrance permit will be required for the proposed gravel entrance. Additionally, a grading plan will be required, which shows drainage for the retained and separate lots as part of any future building permit application for the vacant lot. In support of the applications, proposed severance sketch, lot details, existing drainage and site feature drawings, as well as the associated application forms were submitted by the applicants. Copies of these supporting items can be viewed on the Township's website under the current planning applications page. The two planning act applications and supporting documentation are currently under detailed review by Township staff and external agencies, and there will be a detailed comments and assessment proposal in a future report to the committee. Therefore, staff recommend at this time that all comments and correspondence received from members of the public and government agencies through this consultation process be returned to staff for a future report to the committee on the disposition of this matter. Staff will be considering matters which include all comments and correspondence received during consultation. If the proposed lot additions, in the opinion of staff, are desirable for both properties, suitability of 435 Wadham being developed on the basis of private well and septic systems, the impact of the proposed conveyance on surrounding properties, the suitability of the land for the purposes for which the lands are to be severed, including the dimension and shape of the proposed lot configurations, whether the proposed consents conform to the intent of the official plan, and whether the general intent of the zoning bylaw is maintained. And that's the presentation.
Thank you, Bob. Jenna Wenzel, did you want to speak?
Gone, yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you. Hi, my name is Jenna Wenzel. I am a planner with GSP Group. Here with me today is Vice President of GSP Group, Hugh Handy, as well as Jason Wigglesworth from MTE and the owner in David Tressler. I don't have anything to add to the presentation that was provided, but we're happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you. Any member of the public wish to speak? Any member of council wish to ask any questions? Thanks, Jenna. Thank you. Can I have a motion, please, Councillor Tilly?
Moved by myself, second by Derek Ossner, that report number PD 25-2025 be received, and that all comments and correspondence received through the consultation process be returned to staff for consideration in future report to the committee of the disposition on this matter.
All those in favor? Carried, thank you. That was riveting, wasn't it? Almost worth missing the leaf gate. Next is report number 6.5.2, PD 2025-2025. Is this one yours? Yes. Consent application lot addition for 395 and 435 Wayton Drive. This is the same as that, never mind. Report recommending minor variance and consent application of 6.6.1. Report number PD 24-2025, minor variance application for 1143 Maple Meadow Road, file number A0225. Notice has been given in accordance with the Planning Act. The Secretary Treasurer will keep a record of all persons who provide comments on the application and those who register with the Clerk's Department to request a notice of decision. These individuals will be notified of the decision or the coming of future meetings and on this application. Christina Blazanovic, planner 1 GIS technician, will present the report. Christina, please. Thank you,
The following presentations for minor variance application 802/25 for the property located at 1143 Maple Manor Road. The purpose of this meeting is to advance a recommendation for the committee's consideration on the merits of the application. The property is located on the south side of Maple Manor Road, west of the intersection of Maple Manor Road and Misty Maple Trail in the Ranch Land Settlement area. The property consists of a single detached dwelling and accessory buildings. This property is approximately 0.4 hectares in size with a lot frontage of 30.7 meters onto Maple Manor Road. Surrounding land uses are primarily rural residential and agricultural. And this property is on Z1 agriculture as well as Z2A rural residential. This property is designated settlement residential and auxiliary in the township. The owner proposes to facilitate the construction of a two-story detached garage in the rear yard of the subject property. The garage will be 9.14 meters by 12.19 meters in size with a total area of 111.48 square meters. The first story of the proposed accessory building will consist of a two-car garage, and the second story is proposed to be utilized as additional storage space for yard equipment, tools, and similar items. The proposed garage will have a building height of 6.24 meters. Currently, the property includes 4 accessory buildings, 3 similarly sized sheds, and 1 pool shed. The 4 existing accessory sheds will be removed once the new garage is complete. A site inspection was conducted on April 17, 2025. During the visit, it was observed that the existing pool shed is situated slightly closer to the side property line than the required minimum setback of 1 meter. As a result, planning staff have included an additional variance request as part of this application to permit a reduced side yard setback for the existing pool shed. The owner is requesting the following minor variances for both sections 6.4.7 and 8.3.7b of the general zoning bylaw, which permit a maximum building height of 5.2 meters. The owner seeks relief from these provisions to permit an accessory building height of 6.24 meters. And from section 6.4.2 of the general zoning bylaw, which establishes that no person shall erect any accessory building closer than 1 meter from the interior lot line. The owner seeks relief from this provision to permit a side yard setback of 0.5 meters for the pool shed. The photo on the screen is a view of the rear yard, highlighting the proposed location of the detached garage. These photos on the screen again highlight the proposed location of the garage as well as the surrounding landscape, which is generally open, vacant land without any dwellings in close proximity. And lastly, this is a photo of the existing pool shed. As you can see in this photo, the land adjacent to the subject property is currently vacant. No correspondence has been received from any members of the public. There have been concerns received from any commenting agencies. The township's engineering and building departments will require a grading plan to be submitted prior to receiving a building permit. Planning staff is of the opinion that the requested variances meet the 4 tests of a minor variance outlined by the Planning Act. First, that the variance is minor in nature. The requested variance of approximately 1 meter in additional building height is considered minor. The proposed garage is located at the rear of the subject property, well removed from adjacent dwellings, and the lands to the rear is zoned for agricultural use with no nearby residential development. As such, the building will have minimal visibility and no impact on surrounding residential properties. The building is also situated a significant distance from the road frontage, further limiting its presence on the streetscape. Additionally, the natural slope of the property toward the rear helps to mitigate the impact of the additional height requested. The reduced side yard setback for the existing pool shed is also considered minor. Its current location allows for safer and more functional circulation around the pool, which would be constrained if the shed were repositioned to meet the setback requirement of 1 meter. The adjacent property is currently undeveloped, and the shed's placement is not expected to result in any adverse impacts. Secondly, that the variance is desirable. The construction of the garage is appropriate for the residential use of the land. It enhances the functionality of the property while keeping with the character of the area. Third, that the variance meets the intent of the bylaw. The proposed detached garage is a permitted use within the zone and maintains compliance with all other provisions of the zoning bylaw with the exception of the requested height. Additionally, although reduced, the pool shed continues to provide a side yard setback to the adjacent property. And lastly, that the variance meets the intent of the official plan. The property is designated for low density residential. The proposed garage maintains a primary residential use and aligns with the neighborhood's low density residential character. Planning staff recommend that minor variance application 802/25 be approved, subject to the conditions listed in the recommendation section of PD report number 24/2025. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. Is the applicant online or around? Okay. Then we next have, any members of the public, they all failed. Do any members of the committee wish to, make any questions or comments? Seeing none, can I have a motion, Council Roman, and, seconded by Council Ross?
Moved by myself, second by Councilor Ossner, that report number PD 24/2025 received in the minor variance application A 0225 being requested permit a building height of 6.24 meters with proposed attached garage, whereas section 6.4.7 of general zoning bylaw 689-83 permits a maximum building height of 5.2 meters for accessory buildings. B, a building height of 6.24 meters with proposed attached garage, whereas section 8.3.7B of general zoning bylaw 689-83 permits a maximum building height of 5.2 meters for accessory buildings. And C, an existing accessory building or pool shed to have a setback of 0.5 meters or 164 feet, whereas section 6.4.2 general zoning bylaw 689-83 establishes that no person shall erect any accessory building closer than 1 meter from any interior lot.
All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. We have no correspondence, the opportunity. Pardon me? Oh, yes, okay, sorry. Ran away. You told me you have as long as we can. Let's get pretty fancy up there while we're on. Took a long time.
Should have made you wait a half hour and a half.
Council Williams, for the adjournment, please, could you please, do the motion?
I'll leave and you can use it.
Moved by myself, seconded by Derek Rossner, that pursuant to the Planning Act, the public meeting of the Committee of Adjustment be adjourned at 6:27 p.m.
All those in favor? Carried, thank you. And Council Roxton, please, the bylaws.
Moved by myself, second by Councilor Tilly, that the following bylaws be read a first, second time. Bylaw number 3560-25 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council at this meeting held April 29, 2025.
All those in favor? Carried, thank you. And Councilor Tilly, the third reading of the bylaw, please.
Moved by myself, second by Councilor Ossner, that bylaw number 3560-25 be read third and final time, be signed and sealed by the mayor. But
All those in favor? And finally, the adjournment, please, Councilor Rowan.
Moved by myself, by Councilor Ossner, that whereas business before this council and public meeting has been completed at 28 p.m. and resolved this meeting adjourned.
All those in favor? Carried, thank you.